big deals. They're big
No,
deals.
hubbubaloo's. Oh, I'm doing too many B's, aren't I?
Now you definitely are. I'm still
Hubba
pretty sure it's hullabaloo,
bubble bubble
but
gum.
it's definitely not hubba.
Wiggly.
Mr. Smith.
Buddy.
How's it going, bud?
It's good. It's good.
Good. It's good. It's good. It's good.
I've been working, been getting around, get active. You and I have a Vegas trip coming up.
We do. I cannot wait for that Vegas trip.
Yep.
We'll see how the bank account does, because how your bank account did on our trip to the wine store in Delaware, my bank account is going to quiver and tremble similarly going to Vegas.
Oh, we'll be fine.
I don't know. I like playing games, and I generally walk into a casino and, I set like how much I'm willing to lose. I'm fine with that. But I generally keep playing until I lose that much, even if I get way up at some point.
If you get way up, my promise to you is if you get way up, I'll make you walk away. If I get way down, you have to make me walk away. Because my problem is I think I can win it back.
Oh, no. So I'm pretty lucky that I have my kind of limit, and once I hit that limit, I'm like, I don't really want to do this anymore. I should have just spent that money at the bar. It would have been better. So that's usually how my mind works.
We're just gonna sit and play Pai Gow poker and get smacked.
I love Pai Gow poker. Have you been looking up how to play?
I know how to play Pai Gow poker. I also want to do some Baccarat, which I don't normally play.
I have no idea how to play Baccarat.
So you know what we should do? Is in Vegas. I already told Becca she's gonna be our camera person. We should do a gambling episode.
Oh yeah. Oh well, I think we should just do a Vegas in and of itself episode.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have lots. We're gonna have lots of
funsies.
stuff to cut up for the YouTube channel.
Yeah,
I'm bringing the cameras, the mics.
Oh yeah, we
several
got everything
videos.
ready to go. I'm gonna bring my mics too, and I mean, I'm old school and I just use my phone as a camera, but.
We'll do a food review. We'll do are we gonna
take some food pictures for the gram?
We're gonna take some food pictures for the gram. You know what else? What we're not gonna do in Vegas?
What are we not gonna do in Vegas?
That I might do in the 2 weeks that I'm there, not the 3 days that you're there. But you and I and Becca not gonna golf in Vegas, and golf in Vegas is awesome.
Is it really?
Oh yeah, the courses are awesome. Yeah. Oh my god, there's so many courses. Yeah, a lot of the hotels have courses. There's courses all around in the mountains. We played the last time we were out there. We played Bears Best. It was Jack Nicklaus's course. Ate us alive.
The actual hotels have courses.
Some of them.
Now I'm
on
expect
property.
that they're off property. They're on property. They have courses.
Some of them.
How? How much space? You need a lot of space for a golf course.
Yeah, you're in the desert. A lot of these places have there's golf courses right on the strip.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know what we could do though? There is a Top Golf.
Oh, we can do.
There is a Vegas
love
Top
Top
Golf.
Golf.
So do I.
Honestly,
Becca
I
actually likes Top Golf too.
Yeah. Yana likes it too. I actually brought my dad to Top Golf for Father's Day last year, and my dad was what? He's 63 at the time. And I'm the one that threw my back out while we were playing golf, and I just felt very bad about myself.
Yeah, if I don't stretch my hamstrings before I play, my lower back is really tight.
Yeah, my lower back literally was not right for multiple months after I played. It was not great.
We are getting old. We need to stretch before we do things.
We do. And we need to go to the gym more often.
Well, I'm about to do some bicep curls with today's alcohol, though.
Oh, yeah? I'm very excited for it. Would you care to introduce?
Yes. So I guess we did technically put the cart in front of the horse, if my polo didn't give it away of today's theme. But the alcohol for today is... Are we sure it's McLeod's?
We are very, very sure it's McLeod's.
Okay, so we have McLeod's Highland Single Malt Scotch Whiskey. It's a 12-year-old sherry cask finish, still matured, bottled in Scotland. Ian McLeod Distillers LLD. LTD?
Limited, yeah.
Standard, 40%. Now, McLeod's, they've been around since 1933. They have several Highland distilleries. Glengoyne, I think, is probably the most famous one that falls within their distilling group.
That area.
But they have 3 or 4 that this distilling group owns. Tamdu, if anyone knows Tamdu, but it's not really widely distributed in the States.
I don't have a
Those
clue who that
those
is.
would those would be Rosebank. Some people have heard of. They know that one. Those are some of the bigger ones. I believe they're all Highland, and so we don't actually know which one of the distilleries this came out of. They're pretty secretive about that because they do sort of like pick and blend based on getting the right Highland flavor. Like they're really known for and really proud of getting that customary, distinct, like robust Highland flavor, which is going to be mellowed by Anthony's favorite way to finish any whiskey, sherry casks.
Sherry casks. Yeah, this was definitely an Anthony pick. It was part of our pilgrimage to Delaware. And this one was suggested to us, I believe, as a good idea.
I think it was too, yeah.
And I think I'm very excited to kind of dive into it. But
Because you're not much of a Scotch guy historically.
so I've always liked scotches. I'm a fan and I enjoy them, but I just always find I gravitate more towards the bourbons than the scotches.
Totally fair. Totally fair. As we've established several times in several episodes, sherry cask finished scotches give Anthony a hard on.
We're gonna give it a little pop. Ooh,
That's a good one.
Ooh,
Nice. That's a crisp pop. Oh, that's
Oh,
so
wow.
good.
That
That's
was
so
such a good
nice.
one.
That is so nice.
oh, I might have to
that's
change
a-
the intro.
That's a nice cork too. Oh, there's a little horsey on the top.
It smells good. It's a knight on a horsey.
I don't know that it could be a knight, but it might not be a
Don
knight.
Quixote.
It could be like a Well,
It's like
so
Spaniard. Well, it's a Spanish sherry cask, so it makes sense.
that's honestly that could be why. I'm trying to figure out. I assume that McLeod's is some sort of reference to Clan MacLeod, which is like a very famous
Freedom.
Well, it's a very famous clan within Scotland. Like they're what's the pattern on the kilts called? Tartan? No, maybe
Yeah,
is
it's
it?
tartan.
Okay,
It's tartan.
yeah. So there's, I mean, it's such a nice cork.
Honestly, like everything about this presentation on this bottle is very, very nice.
Yeah, I like the
bottle
front.
itself looks good.
Like the little emblem, like that same horsey is like on the insignia on that front.
I mean, it might just be the fact that it's called McLeod's, but it's giving me very Macallan vibes.
I mean,
Just the
yeah,
bottle,
the shape of the bottle.
No, yeah, literally the bottle itself. Oh, so
gonna
in the
like this.
moving,
Yeah,
finally found
finally got it out.
the Glencairn. Got
Nice.
it up here.
This is more than a wee dram.
Ooh.
This is
Oh,
a whoa.
Jesus.
This is a whoa dram. I overpoured.
That's an old dram.
Oh, dram.
Oh, dram.
This is a many dram.
Mine's a dram.
Yours is the nat dram.
Not
Mine's
wee, not
certainly
whoa.
Mine's certainly
Somewhere
not a
in between.
Wee. It's a whoa.
Oh, this smells great. There's like no alcohol fuminess to it. It's very lightly oaky, mostly sherry sweet. I think that's what I'm getting is a lot of the sweet from the wine cask.
You know what it's almost like there's like a honey note. Like it's sweet like sherry, but I'm getting almost like that richer sweetness.
I'm also smelling that once you suggested it.
It's
I'm
now,
not getting
now
a lot
are
of the
you
dried
smelling it or
fruits.
no? This does
Exactly.
not have the
It's very
apricot we
bright.
lost.
We've only found one apricot so far, and it's been in cognac.
Yeah, but like I am getting fruity, but I'm not getting like
No, it's like bright and like floral fruitiness.
yeah. And being a Highland, I expect there to be a bit of a crisp finish, but
So
not a lot of spiciness either. Sometimes with like Highlands, especially like sherry cask finish Highlands, you get some spiciness on the nose.
Yeah.
Well, it should get it on the finish.
There's really nothing on the nose.
Yeah, it is
it
a
time to-
yeah, it is a single malt. Let's start.
Cheers, sir.
Throw your camera.
Yeah,
Oh, that's really good.
that's delicious.
That's so good.
That's like, wow. I don't know if I've just been having too much like overproof stuff lately, but this feels like so smooth and
Yeah.
so calm.
I like in my mind, I just hated myself because I think this might be like as good as that bottle of Glenallachie sherry matured that I have. But then I remembered that was cask strength, which is why it sort of burns.
Yeah, that one hurts a little bit. Why does this one not?
if I proof
not
that
cask
down, I
strength?
bet you it would taste like this. Well, that one's also sherry matured. This is sherry finished. It is that is an important distinction.
That is. I wonder. So, I don't know. I have not had a long time to look up on this particular scotch. Does it say that it was? Yeah, it does say it was finished in the sherry cask.
Yeah, so this is sherry finish. Now they're never
aged in oak barrels, right?
They're never gonna tell you how long.
This was hand selected by John Glass, the malt master. I wonder who gave him that title.
Master of malts.
Master of malt.
It is a crisp finish. I was right there. That's what I expect from a Highland. But it's like it's when you like smoke a cigar, how like sort of like that tobacco flavor sort of like hangs around in your mouth a little bit. Yep. Like I'm getting the sweet and the like that crispness, those like brighter fruit notes up front.
Yep.
But once I finish it, the taste in my mouth is wood. I get the wood all at the end. Like once I've swallowed, I can taste the wood.
Yep, I completely agree. I think
That's nuts.
like when you first start drinking it, in the beginning it is just bright and fruity, light, not refreshing, but like comforting. I don't know. There's something like
warm?
Nice about it. I like warm. Yeah, like warm. Like it's nice.
Yeah.
And then on the like after you swallow it, and the aftertaste is very like heavy wood right after you swallow, and then kind of evolves to just very like the sherry taste. The sherry, the kind of sweet, almost a little bit of a wine flavor.
Yeah, it's like I'm sucking on a little piece of the cask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
This is really approachable.
It's delightful. It's very delightful.
This is very, and because it lacks any harshness,
Scotch.
this is very approachable because it lacks any of that harshness.
This like
solid.
This is the least peaty scotch I have ever had in my life. It's not smoky.
I keep telling you that there's a whole world of scotch.
I know. I feel like I usually just stick to the same thing. I mean, mind you, I enjoy me some peaty scotch, but this is delightful and very enjoyable.
God, I love a good Highland. Not my favorite distilling region. That's still Campbelltown, but God, I love a good Highland.
The 4 distilleries that still exist in Campbelltown.
Yeah, all several of them. When we go to Scotland, we'll definitely have to go there. But
yeah, where else we should really go if we go to Scotland? St. Andrews.
Oh,
we have to go check it out.
Let's bring it back to today's theme: golf, the birthplace. I want to play it so bad. I want to go so bad.
I think I gave you a golf towel from St. Andrews that I found at
still on my bag.
Estate sale or something. It is? Oh, that's great.
That one that you found is still on my bag, and then the one that Kira brought back for me when she went over to Scotland. That one's still on my bar.
Yeah, that was a fun one of those kind of like pickups that I think I was at an estate sale, and we were just kind of wandering around, and I was like, this is from St. Andrews, and it's actually from St. Andrews. I'm gonna give it to Anthony.
the home of golf, many consider it.
Home. It is. I mean,
there's more than Scotland. There's more than one course on St. Andrews. So there's like the old course, and then they have like other ones. But it's all the thing with St. Andrews is it's public. Like good luck getting a tee time, but it's public.
It's a blessing and a curse that it's public. You probably have to book it like a year in advance. Like it's probably crazy.
I don't think it's quite a year. I don't know how long out they take tee times. What I will say is, while we were over there, what we were told was if you're like sitting there with your clubs while it's still dark and they get there, you have a shot at them just letting you go off first.
Really? Like if you're just there at the crack of dawn.
If you're just there.
Like before the crows.
Yeah.
What the hell does a crow do? And by crow I mean
before the
rooster crows.
Before the rooster
not
crows.
crows, not crow roosters or cockadoodle-doo.
I think crows cackle?
They caw.
Crows caw, roosters crow.
Caw. Roosters crow. Yeah.
Well then shouldn't crows rooster?
Yeah, that would just
if roosters
make way too
crow,
much sense,
then crows should rooster.
But the real question is, what does the fox say?
Ding 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 ding. You're making Glenn bark. Stop it. Stop.
Anyway.
Oh my goodness.
St. Andrews is like Scotland, the birthplace of golf, and it seems like St. Andrews, though not the first golf course, was the one that everyone kind of followed suit of and was really looking at as the forerunner into how golf should be played at the time.
You know that King James II, one of the Jameses,
a James.
Hold on, let me look real quick. I think it was the second.
Speaking of James, did
Yes,
you hear about
King.
James Earl Jones?
I'm not pouring any of this out, but
But oh,
hold on, wait. I'll pour one out for James Earl Jones.
pour one out right about here.
Sorry, James. That's I
Welcome,
can't.
James.
I'll pour one out for you when I'm drinking something not this fucking delicious. I bet you James Earl Jones like
Huge
golf.
loss. Oh, he had to have.
Yeah,
I
right?
feel like all of the like kind of high power players in the world, like everyone plays golf because it's
Millions
something
of
that you can do forever, and you can just kind of chat while you're playing, and it's just deals get done on the golf course.
Well, and you can drink while you're playing.
Yeah, I think that's
There are 3. I don't know what the third place is. I'm sure there's a third place, but there are 3 places you can. It's socially acceptable to drink at any hour: airports, golf courses.
bowling alleys. I don't know. That
there's
was
a
the one
third.
that
There
I was
has to be
thinking.
a
So I
third.
thought you were gonna say sports that you can drink while you play.
Nah, but like
That's why I was
rules
thinking
of
bowling.
3 though.
Yeah, so there has to be a third. What would the third place that you can drink?
Socially
At
acceptable to drink at
any
any time of the
hour.
day.
Las Vegas.
Yeah, probably also true. At home's a very upsetting answer.
Yeah, no, that's not socially acceptable, even a little bit.
Yeah, like I said, that's a very depressing answer.
Yeah. Oh.
It was King James II in 1457 banned golf because he thought it distracted from archery practice, which was crucial to natural defense.
Everybody needs to shoot arrows better, so you have to stop hitting the little balls. All
It's
right,
actually, it started as golf, GOWF, so golf with a speech impediment.
guys. Golf. Golf. You mean the old quarterback for no, I don't even remember where he is now.
The current quarterback
Yeah, I
for
can't
the
remember
Detroit
where
Lions.
he is now. He's on the Lions now. I still
Dude,
just
we
always
just
think of him as
got
being
done
on
with the
Rams.
draft episode.
I just only think of him as being on the Rams. That's
No,
that's
because
all I
Stafford's
think
on the
about.
Rams. They just traded.
I know they did just trade. Why did they do that?
Detroit wanted to build for the future, and Stafford wanted a ring.
Stafford wanted to win for change.
Apparently, the Rome and China actually had a game similar, but Scotland is still credited with the creation.
I saw that too. I still think that, like, I mean, from what I'm seeing, it seems like it was definitely Scotland, but it was also like the 15th century. Like, it started like 1400s. That's crazy.
Well, think about how popular even then it had to have been for the king to say, "Stop it and go shoot your bows,"
And actually make a decree about it, right? That's crazy to me. Like, it's just like a huge thing, and it's just I want to know what the game was like back then. Like, because if you think about the game today, it's so the equipment and the technical stuff with it is so important to being kind of relevant at it. Can you imagine the equipment they didn't have back then and how they still played the game?
Well, it was like, so the original golf balls were like, it was like feather stuffed or like spooled, I forget exactly what it was, but it was like, it was like pine tar and spools and like full of feathers or something.
Either like they had wooden balls they would play with, or it would be pigskin stuffed with feathers until they were solid. Yeah, and then they would just stitch them up.
Yeah,
but they looked almost like little baseballs.
I love the old, yet another taken too soon, like James Earl Jones. The old,
James
God,
Earl Jones was like 93, wasn't it?
Still too soon. Oh my God,
it's never long enough.
Oh my God, this is so embarrassing. We found out about his death on the front porch of our house on Union Street. We both poured one out simultaneously without actually talking about it first.
Oh,
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams, right? Yeah.
My goodness.
No,
I was like Mrs. Doubtfire.
That was a perfect time when I was talking about like my brain thinks in pictures. I could picture exactly who we were talking about, but what his name was, I have no idea.
Mm-hmm. So he has that comedy skit where he's talking about like the invention of wealth. And he's just like puts on his fake. I don't know if that's not going to catch a DMCA ban. You should absolutely cut some of that sketch into this episode right here because it's so good. It's just like
that sketch is one of my it's one of my favorite, not even necessarily just golf related, but a Robin Williams comedy. It's just so funny and so true. Like that's the part about it is it feels so real.
Is the hole close? Fuck no. It's 300 yards over there.
It's way the fuck over there.
What are we gonna do? Throw it? No, we're gonna hit it with this stick.
We hit it with this fucked up stick.
We're gonna hit it with this fucked up stick.
So you're just gonna have it just go straight there? No, we're gonna put shit in front of it. We're gonna put trees and we're gonna put sand.
It's so good, dude. It makes me laugh every single time.
It's comedy gold. It's
Like, so good,
legendary. Yeah, another.
Oh my goodness.
Pour one out for Robin Williams too.
Yeah, hold on, just real quick. Let me just...
Right, pour it out.
My woe dram has now become a wee dram.
It has. Mine is still kind of. I have to be up early and work again tomorrow. So
well, I have to be up. I have to be up early, literally, to golf.
I have to be up early to paint the final room that needs to be painted.
I'm probably gonna golf solo because my one buddy has to go to the office now. But so I usually start working around like 9:30. So as long as I tee off at like 7:15, I'm home in time to start working.
And you're just playing 9 usually?
Yeah, that course is actually only 9. It's cheap.
Oh, okay.
It's cheap. It's well kept. For those that don't golf, when I say well kept, what I mean is like there's not like grass growing everywhere. The greens aren't like atrocious. They're not. This is not a professional course. This is a public course.
Now, you know what? Let's actually take a second. Let's pause for a second, and not necessarily pause, but let's put some definitions in place here, because I'm sure there are plenty of our listeners that have no idea anything about golf, as this is not really a golf-related podcast, and though the sipping of scotch goes hand in hand with a round of golf, it's not necessarily something that people do together. So, do you want to go through and define some of those things? For instance, you said when well kept, and you said a couple of things. You said the greens are well kept. Hey, what's a green?
A green is, so for anyone that's mini golfed, and I feel like everyone's mini golfed, the green is a mini golf hole, but like more circular and bigger.
Yeah.
And without elephants in the way.
Depending on the course you're playing, of course.
Like Scally's, one of America's number 100 animal related mini golf courses in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yay! But yeah, so if anybody is thinking about like,
it's like your target.
It's the target. It's where the hole is, like where when you're shooting, the hole is on the green and the flag is sticking out, and it's usually the place that looks sort of flatter than everything else and is very, very small grass. Like I said, looks flatter.
It depends on what course you
it's
play.
not necessarily very flat at all.
I've had putts that just
Yep.
Yeah. So that's like your target. Now, I think it's also important to talk about that you really can't talk about golf and courses and like how they're set up without talking about what par is.
Yeah, you know what? Let's keep going through what the makeup of a hole.
The makeup of a hole.
Let's do the makeup of a hole, and then after we do the makeup of the hole, let's talk about how you play.
So,
does that sound good?
You start at a tee box. A lot of the courses I play will have like four different tee boxes.
I think that's the usual. 4 to 3.
Most are 3. There's one I play that has 5. There's a course I play that actually has 5.
Does it have the gold tees?
They have
for
the
the
tips.
seniors?
Yeah, they have the tips, blues, whites, seniors, and then reds. A lot of people call reds, which is the frontmost tee box, they call those lady tees because it's the closest to the hole. But it's not. I mean, I guess it's sort of sexist, but it's also super not. It's also super not though, because here's the thing: is the tee boxes are set up based solely on like how far you typically drive the golf ball. It's like driving the golf ball. That's your first shot. You're using the big stick with the big head on it, and you're hitting it. It's the one you hit the furthest. So, ideally the straightest, but never the straightest.
Generally not the straightest.
So it's the idea is that in any given hole, there's a certain number of strokes. A stroke is when you swing the club. Any number of strokes that you're supposed to get to the green in. So there's something in golf called greens in regulation, or GIRs. And then there's another thing in golf called fairways in regulation, called FIRs. So me and my buddies, whenever we're playing, we're always like, it's all about those gers and furs.
Gers and furs.
Gers and furs,
So,
boys.
Another definition that we haven't gotten to yet, a fairway.
Fairway.
So a fairway is when you're hitting off of the tee box, you're aiming for the fairway. It's sort of the well-maintained, lower cut grass that's in the middle of each hole. It's not as short as the green, but it offers a nice surface for you to play off of, and it's easy to find your ball, and all of the clubs that you use are kind of designed to hit off of that sort of grass.
Yep, it's the ideal playing area. Like if to play a perfect hole, you would hit from your ideal tee box, depending on how far you typically drive the golf ball. Most amateurs are in the 200 and change range. If you're a little better, you're probably at 250, 260. If you're really good, you're probably at like 275. Pros, 300 plus. A lot of that is technology helping, but I mean,
it's like any other sport.
I have
trained
access to
do this.
Yeah, like there's
they
a
literally
sweet
trained
spot
to do this all the time. They lift the right weights, they do the right conditioning, they do the right things to be the best at these certain things. I'm probably usually averaging 220, 230 on a drive.
I'm at least this fall I'm in like the 268 is like
Nice.
pretty consistent for my driver.
Mind you, I also don't play golf very much anymore. I played very regularly when I was in high school age, but now I haven't played in probably a year or so.
We gotta get you back out. Stretch.
Yeah, I have
But
my
you gotta
clubs.
stretch.
I'm all ready to go, but yeah, I definitely got to stretch so I don't
Stretch.
pull my back out again.
It's God, I hate golf. I hate golf. Because here's the thing, like we're talking about this like, oh yeah, you hit it off the tee box, it goes in the fairway. Then if it's a normal par 4 hole, which is what most of the golf courses comprised of, you're supposed to get the ball from the tee box to the hole with 4 swings of the club. Not really that big of a deal, but the idea is that you hit it onto the fairway, and then you hit an iron, which is one of the fucked up sticks that we were talking about from Robin Williams.
That's the flat, funny looking
stick
one
with the funny one on the end.
Yep.
Hit that onto the green, and then you're supposed to putt it close to the hole, and then putt it in. That's par.
Putt it is the other little stick that looks like it has a little brick on the bottom of it.
Yep, you should all know that from your days of youthful mini golf.
Yes,
If anyone's never played
that's
mini
the
golf,
club.
I just like I can't help you. If you've never watched, like if you have zero reference for what we're trying to dumb this down. If you have zero reference, I'm sorry. Go watch
It is
Caddyshack and like.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. I was also thinking Caddyshack. That is one of my favorite golf movies.
You know what's funny to me about golf movies? Sidebar. What's funny to me about golf movies is that Happy Gilmore was not that long ago, and in the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of
probably
golf,
pushing 20 years old at this point.
yeah,
No,
in the grand scheme of golf,
in grand scheme of golf, movies haven't been around that long.
Accurate statement. 1457, they said no more golf, go back to archery practice. So
Stop watching movies.
stop watching movies, go back to archery practice. What blows my mind, not blows my mind, but like, so it just wasn't the tech, the golf ball. The thing that's really advanced a lot other than club head tech is golf ball tech, but in the movie Happy Gilmore, they were making like a big deal. Like he was this freak for driving the ball over 300 yards. That's like half the tour now.
Oh yeah, no, that's just common these days.
Yeah, it's just like
I mean,
half
honestly,
the tour. What
Even
was
when I was stopped watching, because I probably followed golf decently until like 2010, 2011, like
when Tiger
the Rory
got bad.
McIlroy years, you know?
when Tiger got bad.
Yeah, pretty much when Tiger got bad. Yeah, I sort of stopped wanting to watch it. But yeah, even back then, it was like 300 yards was a good drive. Like that's some distance on it. But yeah, I mean the changes in technology and just how everything always gets a little bit better all the time has just increased that distance to where it's just normal now.
Yeah, it just the tech on the drivers, and I mean, even me, like I finally last year I got fitted for a new set of irons.
Hmm.
Went to Golf Galaxy, went through the whole fitting, like found the ones I liked, and then like a good, honest, hardworking American went online and found them for less money than they had were at Golf Galaxy.
Oh, that's what we call using the system.
Yep, I was like, yeah, I'll pay your $50 fitting fee to save $200 on these
On the
irons.
clubs. Hey, look, those ones fit very nicely. Thank you.
Yeah. But I hit those so much further than I hit my old ones, just because
Really?
the ones that I got, the ones that I were playing with before, I got when I was like 8th grade.
So I'm gonna actually go back because we still have not finished either the definitions of a core of a hole, nor how to actually play
We sort of got
the
there.
game. So
So you go from the tee box.
go from the tee box to the fairway.
Yep.
Like Anthony said, there is something called the par. Par is how many strokes that you're trying to get from the tee box to the hole in. So in Anthony's definition or example that he was giving, he said a par 4. So that means that you're supposed to get from the tee box to the hole in 4 strokes. Those strokes are generally one, your drive is going to be your first one. That's going to hopefully land in the fairway. Then from that fairway shot, you're going to be hoping to get on the green where the hole is. And then the last 2 are going to be your putts, which Anthony was talking about with the putter. So those last 2 shots, usually general rule of thumb, you always have 2 putts to get it in the hole once you're on the green for a general
Par.
hole of golf for par.
Yep. And par,
Now-
an average course, you're talking like par 72 is normal.
Yep.
And that's
Normal,
a mix
72.
of par 3s, 4s, and 5s.
Yes. Mostly 4s, couple 3s, couple 5s.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now par 3s, you can see the green and you're supposed to hit it from the tee box onto the green.
Those are where the fabled holes in ones can possibly happen.
Yes.
What were you? I
I like to look at the green as more of like an opportunity to work on my chipping.
get it in the general vicinity. And then for another definition, a chip is something that when you are off of the green, just off of the green, there's usually kind of a surround of something called rough grass usually. So the rough is the spots outside of the fairway on the hole. So they are still well manicured grass, but it's usually very dense grass, and it's longer than it is on the fairway. So when you're hitting out of it, it kind of grabs the club head, and it just makes it so you can't hit it as nicely as you can as off the fairway. So usually there's some of that grass sort of surrounding the holes, and chipping is a short shot that you're doing from the kind of grass around the hole onto the green.
Yep. No,
It's usually a short shot.
You move your arms and shoulders really similar to how you would normally putt. The only difference is instead of a flat putter, you're using like a very lofted, it's called a wedge. You're using a very lofted wedge. And the idea is to kind of pop it up in the air, and you're aiming for like a landing spot so that it can like roll towards the hole.
Exactly.
Now,
So it's a pre-putt kind of.
Yeah, it's if you don't get it on the green. The goal is to get it on the green. I mean, look, again, we are making this sound like it's just, hit it in the fairway, and then you hit it on the green, and then you putt twice, and that's par.
Golf is such a simple game.
What normally happens is you drive the ball.
You slice the shit.
You're usually off the fairway some. Well, if you're bad, you're just there to have fun and get better. Like I've said it once, if I've said it a million times. If I treat golf, Becca hates this. I treat golf the same way I treat sex. If I'm not going to do it well, at least I do it fast. Because the thing that bugs me the most is when you stand there and you take like 9 practice swings just to shank it into the freaking lake. Like you know you're not going to hit it straight. So hit the ball, and then don't take 3 more shots from the tee box.
Yeah.
Go to the drop area. Like, don't or play best ball with like the buddy you're playing with that's better than you. Like, don't make everybody else's life miserable because you suck. I'm not saying I'm good, but at least I go to my ball, I look at how far I am, I pick my club, I swing the club.
See, I have a completely different outlook on this because I learned how to play golf when I was really young, and my dad is very much so a teacher. He taught me how to play golf, and he's very much like wants to make sure that we're having fun, but we're also kind of learning how to do it and getting the fundamentals. So we would hit the ball many times. If you hit a bad shot, you'd be like, all right, drop a ball, let's do it again. And when we first started playing, we didn't really even keep score. Like, we were just kind of hitting the ball, we were just going for it, and we're just trying to get it in the general vicinity and learn how to play. We would often let people play through, which is something that if there are people, so I think this is the part that I think annoys Anthony is when people don't do this. So if you are playing on a golf course, there are tee times. These tee times are when you go and start playing. That's the time that you're supposed to be at the first tee box to hit your first shot. They're designed this way in order to stagger people going out so that they're not right on top of each other and everybody's kind of playing their own hole at a given time. Yes, Anthony, I saw your hand was raised.
Yes, I raised my hand. Just so if there are any ladies listening, and also non-punctual men, tee times are specific. It's not 8:30-ish. Your tee time is 8:12.
Yeah.
That means that you need to be in your cart with your clubs. Your glove is on. Your tee and ball are in your hand, and you are standing there at 8:12. It is not
for the pro to say you're ready to go.
The starter is chilling. The guys ahead of you are in the fair. I accidentally drove a green the other day, and people were still
played
on
up
it.
on the people in front of you.
I drove the green. They should have been shaking my hand. It's a short course, but still, it was like 275, and it just like hit once and rolled across the green, and I felt really bad. They were like, "Don't worry about it. Great job. It's right here."
Yeah,
it like
rolled. Ball.
It rolled over the green and just like sat neatly on the rough. I birdied that hole. Anyway, not the point. We'll get to what birdie.
Back to the regular scheduled program.
The regular scheduled program is like tee times are exact. Please, like it's if you love your boyfriend, be on time.
Or just in general. But anyway, so what we would do is something called playing through. So because my dad was taking this as a teaching moment and we were learning how to play, we would go onto the fairway and we would do something called mark our balls. We would pick and take like a coin, or they make ball marks or something, and you put it down behind where your ball is, and you pick it up and you walk off the course and let the people behind you just play their game and finish up through. And then once they get past where you're not going to hit them, you can kind of hop in and continue your game. And like I said, if there were people stacked up behind us, we'd let multiple groups play through until we had a bit of an opening so that we could play our slow game and kind of not interrupt anybody else's time. So that's how we do it.
Shake your dad's hand the next time you see him for me, because like that's how you should do it.
Yeah.
And I'm not opposed to people learning how to play golf on a course. Like that's totally fine. You want to take an extra shot here?
It's the best way to do it. It's like the only way to I mean,
you're never gonna learn. You're never gonna learn on a driving range.
Yeah, playing on the driving range, you learn how to hit your clubs decently, but like when you get out onto a course, there's different lays. Like the geography is different. Sometimes the ball is higher up than you expect. Sometimes there's all these different factors that you just can't get either virtually or just playing at a driving range. So the only real way to learn is to get out there and do it.
Once. I would say if anyone listening is picking up golf, go to the driving range, hit a bucket of balls, like get to where you are just like making consistent contact.
Yep.
If once you're like get your rhythm down, work with someone that knows what they're doing. Like I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I am good enough at golf to tell anyone how to golf. There are like some tips here and there that I can give. Like one of the things I do is I pick, and my dad actually was the one that showed me this, whether I'm putting, driving, an iron on the green, I pick a spot maybe 6 inches to a foot in front of the ball, and I aim at that. Like, instead of aiming at
Mhm.
you know, the target. Like it's just easier to line yourself up. But like it's all about consistent contact. Like my buddy said, you should never top a ball. You should always take grass. Like you should be hitting
Underneath it.
you aim like you're trying to hit a dime behind the ball.
Yep.
Is like basic. Like if the dime was squidged in there, you're aiming at the
Mm-hmm.
dime. Like that's the impact point.
You know where I got most of my, well, other than my dad, of course, but where I got most of my sort of golf advice from, like on how to play?
Where?
Something called Harvey Pennick's Little Red Book. I don't know if you've ever heard of
Oh
it.
my! Of course, I've heard of the Little Red
It's
Book.
super, super popular. My
Yep.
dad actually gave it to me to read, but it is full of these kind of anecdotal theories and ways to play. So Harvey Pennick was a professional golfer. I think he was born in like 1903. That passed away in I think 1997 or 1995, somewhere in there. But he wrote a book called The Little Red Book. And this Little Red Book is just someone who had been a coach for a long time and just the things that they had picked up throughout their whole life. I think he published it in 1994 and he died in 1995, if I remember correctly.
It sounds right.
So it's literally his whole life of golf and learning how to do this, and he put it all into a book.
I would
all of these
highly recommend it for anybody that wants to take up
yeah.
golf.
He had all of these little pointers and things, and it's very approachable the way that he wrote it, and it's also made so it like he's not giving you like dead iron set like this is how you do it. He's kind of giving you like ways to feel it out and giving you things to like, I don't know, like for instance, something that really helped my golf swing is he said, you know, I watch people do this a lot and they're just like very stiff. They're like straight back, go through, and it's very like a movement that's very robotic. He said that you're supposed to do it like you're swinging a bucket of water. So you kind of want to get a little momentum on it, come back and be smooth and follow through because you make sure you don't spill anything out of the bucket.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense because the golf swing's not.
Works.
It's not all arms. Like it's
your
you're shifting your weight.
It's
Not
swing
the
it like
bucket.
that and then finish like you're gonna shake someone's hand.
I like the bucket of water one. The one that the one that makes more sense to me is it's like skipping a stone.
Yep. Yeah, same kind of thing.
You're
It's just for the
supposed to
motion.
come in shallow. Again, it's way harder than this.
Yeah, we're also right now talking about the fine-tuning techniques to do after you already know how to make solid contact with the ball. Now you're trying to make sure it goes the way that you want it to, because, you know, like Anthony said, go out there, just hit balls until you can make solid contact with it, and it goes about where you want it. Not even goes where you want it to, but you make solid contact with it. After you get to where you can make solid contact with it, now try to iron out getting it to go where you want it to. Because that's much harder, much easier said than done.
Go play a par 3, go play a pitch and putt. And the thing is, like, tee to green, half of your strokes, like, I don't live by this. I should. Practice putting.
You
Like,
lose a lot more strokes putting than you do on the fairway and driving.
well, once you get to a certain point, yes.
Well, as you get, yeah. It's, since there's such small distance shots, when you get onto the green, if you're not hitting it correctly to get the ball to go to the hole, it's really easy to rack up strokes.
I drove a green and 4-putted for a bogey, and I wanted to leave. It was anybody listening in Pittsburgh. It was Lindenwood, hole 8 on blue. That severe dog leg right. I thought I lost it in the woods because I hit a slice off the tee, but it didn't slice so hard, and I caught just the right angle, and that pitch rolled onto the green like 40 feet from the hole, and I proceeded to 4-putt.
Did you go and see your ball at the green and say, yeah, that was exactly the fade I was trying to hit, so it dog-legged around with the hole?
No, I started like looking in the woods, and then the people on the green that I like almost hit said, "Hey, buddy, great drive. It's on the green." I feel like I don't want to give our listeners like the wrong impression of what's going on here. I have mentioned 2 times already today about driving greens. One of them is on a course that like total length of this course is like an unbelievably low number of yards. It was not a long.
One is a lie.
No, the other one is true. I have witnesses, but it was a mistake. That was on the heels of arguably one of the worst rounds I've played.
Oh, really?
Like I shoot.
That's always good though. To come back and like kill it like that.
I typically shoot. Well, I still bogeyed it. I typically shoot in the low 90s. I am getting on easier courses. I'm getting my score down into the like the low 40s, which would imply if I played 18 at the same course, went around twice, like so it the
80s. So that's pretty good. So when you're
talking
about like playing a game, like Anthony said, there's something called the par for the whole course. That's like the 72 shots for the par for the whole course. So if you are generally scoring an 80 instead of a 72, they call that a handicap 8 or an 8 handicap. It means you usually shoot about 8 over par.
I'm not.
That's what that would. But that's what that means.
Technically, that's what I'm implying. But I
know that is what you're implying.
I know. The problem is, I know damn well that if I played 18, I would have like at least one like 8 or 9 on that scorecard.
I also usually get much more tired on the back 9 than I am on the front 9, and I usually do not play as well.
We're definitely gonna go golfing when I come out to Philly, but
yeah. Anyway, so
we've touched on some etiquette. We've touched on the general construction of a course and the general construction of a hole. Real quick, just to dive back really fast, par 5 is just a longer par 4. You have 2 shots to get it on the green instead of just 1. That's it. Only difference. It's just longer.
Three shots to get a drive and then 2 shots.
A drive and then 2 shots. You can try to get there in 2, but this is, which it brings me to what I wanted to talk about, is birdies, eagles, and albatrosses.
Can we also talk about bogeys and double bogeys? Because those are much more common.
No, we can't. No, we can't. No, we can't because we don't invite negative energy on it.
That's generally where I'm at.
We don't invite negative energy onto this podcast.
There is nothing negative about a double bogey when I'm playing. The game that I played, like I said, first we didn't even keep score. Then we started keeping score just to see how it was. Then I was happy if my shot had a name. Bogey, a double bogey. If they have something to call it, I am happy that I got that.
if it's not just bad.
It's not just like you got there. Good job, bud. And then I was hopefully going to get to pars. But like if I got a birdie, I was the happiest human being on earth.
I don't even have that many. I don't even have that many birdies. Like I have.
No,
I might have a dozen the whole time I've been golfing.
I think the only time I've had birdies are generally par 3s.
Most of mine are par 4s actually. It's like just been like really good approach. It's been like just like really good approach shots. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've had. It's probably like half par 4s. I always somehow manage to screw up at least one shot on a par 5. Yeah. But like if you shoot a 90, that's what's called bogey golf. Like you're just one over par. You needed one extra shot every hole to get it in the cup. Which is perfectly acceptable golf.
That's very good.
Perfectly acceptable golf. You'd be great in a scramble. Like, go play a scramble if you're a bogey golfer. For those,
you want to find a scramble?
Yeah. So a scramble, it's usually like for charity. Like if you're doing like a charity scramble or like a golf outing is usually shot as a scramble where it's either 2 or 4 people and you all hit a shot. But then you all hit your next shot from wherever the best one was. So let's say 4 guys tee off, 1 person puts it in the fairway, the next 3 shank it into the woods. You go and all 4 of you are going to go hit from the one in the fairway. It does introduce some really fun, aggressive play if you're playing with like 3 other guys that like really know how to golf and like you're all just having fun with it. You let the guy that just like hits consistently go first. He lays one out into the fairway like 230, 240 yards.
And then a nice place that you want to hit from.
And then the rest of you just Happy Gilmore swing the fuck out of that ball. You are trying to hit it
and rip it.
To quote my one buddy, the light has never been greener. Just go for it. Oh, it's a dog leg right. Let me just open up my stance real quick and just try to slice this bitch around the corner. Like I want this 80 yards from the green.
Yeah, perfect. You know, it's in any direction.
Scrambles almost always involve drinking. They almost always involve random rules. They're a good time.
A little less competitive, a little more for... well, I take that back. It is not less competitive, I don't think.
I think it's more competitive. You're saying scrambles?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
The problem is a lot of people lie. Like, I've definitely played in plenty of charity events where like
Mhm.
people come in and they're like, "Oh yeah, we shot 18 under." I'm like, "The fuck you did?"
Liars.
Like, I watched. Like, you guys were two groups ahead of us. I watched you play. Unless
You just making shit up.
unless you bought like 30 mulligans.
Mhm.
A mulligan is you get to do the shot again. A lot of times,
Yep.
charity events will sell mulligans.
Ah,
Good
that's a good
good
idea.
charity events will cap the number of well, good charity events that want to make money sell uncapped mulligans. Good charity events that want competitive golfers to play will cap mulligans.
Yeah. Probably cap it at like what, two or three?
Usually it's two per golfer. Is like most
Oh,
of the
per
good
golf.
ones.
That's what I meant per golfer.
Yeah, most of the good ones that I go to, that I've done in the past, they'll do two
Mhm.
per golfer.
Like I said, I kind of stopped playing before like I would have had the ability to be in any of these kinds of things. But yeah, my a very fond childhood memory of mine is my dad was playing in a tournament. I don't know exactly what kind of tournament it was, but I think it was for the hospital that he worked at, and it was a charity event. But they had prizes for whoever won, like did stuff. And he ended up actually winning a prize, and this was in early 2000s, and he got a DVD player. And
Oh.
this was when DVDs were like a brand new thing that people rarely used, and it was the coolest thing in the world to be able to go to Blockbuster Video and go rent DVDs to bring home and watch.
And just
It
feel
was-
like
it
you were
was so
better
much
than
fun.
all those VHS
Exactly.
people.
So cool.
I love that.
Yeah. But
Ugh.
it was fun. I still very, very fondly look back on those memories of getting all the DVDs and having such a nice picture.
I still hate golf.
You still hate golf?
Yeah, all that, the fun stories, the good
Mm-hmm.
memories. Because like I feel like we've painted this picture that golf is like you hit the ball and eventually it goes in the hole, but like
We have.
it just
I mean, it does
doesn't.
eventually.
It just doesn't.
Eventually,
though.
it does.
Just it's God, it's the most rewarding and frustrating game.
Very true.
It's so because you can, and the problem is it's addictive. Like you can play so bad all day long, so bad, and then you just like chip one in,
Yep.
and
you're like,
you're
"Aw."
you'll play 10 more times just with
Yeah,
that. You
just keep going, with just that
off
feeling.
of that high.
Yeah, it's literally just that. It's so going back again to our Vegas trip coming up. It's like gambling. It's like you can do badly for so long and then just hit that one perfect drive that just nice, perfect little gentle fade goes 300 yards. I mean, I'm happy with 250, honestly. And just lands in the fairway, and you go, I'm gonna enjoy hitting that shot next, and it just feels good. Because that's another thing they don't tell you about golf. If you hit the ball badly, it hurts sometimes, like a lot. Like you can hit the ball, and if you catch the ground wrong or hit the ball with the wrong part of the club, the whole thing will just reverberate right back up your hands and just destroy everything.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon. Not even I mean, it's probably more common than that nice of a shot that I just described, because when you hit that shot that's perfect, everything just feels smooth and good.
Ask,
But you hit that bad shot so much more often.
Yeah, ask Phil Mickelson about hurting your wrists.
Is there a story about that one? I
Yeah,
don't know.
so in the 2007 U.S. Open at Oakmont in Pittsburgh, which I was at, and I was at the 2014 one, and I'm gonna be at the one next year.
Ooh, mic drop.
Mic drop. Because like Oakmont is just such a good course, and the U.S. Open's there like every like 10
Stakes.
years.
And is it called the Oakmont Stakes? Is that
No,
right?
no,
No,
So
I'm just
Oakmont.
making shit up.
Oakmont Country Club.
That's cool.
Yep. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, so the U.S. Open, which is one of the 4 major golf tournaments, we'll go into that, I'm sure. But it's one of the 4 major golf tournaments, and that happens at Oakmont roughly every 10 years because it's just classically good course. It's really difficult. They love having it there because it's hard. They can make it really difficult. The scores are usually pretty low, and that's what they like. That's what they want out of an Open. But they had the rough so long and like so dense. First of all, you can't find your ball anyway. Like if it wasn't for spotters, these guys would be shooting. These guys would be dropping and playing. Like it's insane.
That's something my dad always says whenever we lose a ball. He's like, "It's not fair. Nobody was spotting for me." Like, come on.
I've had the luxury of having a 4 caddy one time,
Never in my life.
So a caddy is someone that like carries your bag for you, like when you walk. Never had one of those, and probably never will. It's not a big deal. A four caddy, my dad and I played an outing at Firestone Championship Course, which is used for PGA events.
Nice.
If anyone's ever seen Tiger Woods shot in the dark, we were one of the last groups to go off, and nobody was behind us. So there's a little plaque on the ground where that happens at, and it was Tiger had a shot from just off the fairway to the green in like fading light, could barely see to like wrap up the hole, and there's a little plaque. It's like Tiger's shot in the dark. I probably hit 6 balls from that spot, just to try, just off the green. I didn't hit the green, but I got one really close.
That's awesome.
Now he probably used like a 6 iron, and he probably used like a 6 or 7 iron, and I used like a 4. But
yeah, I'm using a 3 wood.
But a 4 caddy is like a guy that like spots for you and like gives you reads and stuff like that. So they don't carry your bags; you still have a cart.
Yeah,
but they go up in front, tell you where your ball landed, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Never.
We never had that. And my dad would always be like, I think it went out right about here. And if I had someone spotting for me, this is where it would be. So I'm going to drop a ball here.
Yeah, I'll do that too. Like if I'll take a penalty stroke if I know it went out of bounds. But if I can't find a ball and I know about where it is,
it's there.
Yeah, and then I should be able to find, because honestly, half the time on a public course, I've literally watched people pick up my ball.
Yeah, it happens. And honestly, a lot of people don't mean to do it, especially if, like you're talking about, if you're driving close to where the people are that are in the group in front of you, it's really easy to like not notice a ball come in, or if a ball lands close to where yours is, to just kind of walk over and pick it up and be like, okay, moving right along, or to hit that ball and play through like it's your own, and then you get up to the green and look at it again and go, oh, this is not the ball that I hit.
Yep. Well, it's a lot of courses have holes that are like back and forth. And so if you hit one off to the right, I mean, I don't know the number. There's definitely a couple of courses I've played where the correct shot is probably to play it out of a different hole's fairway.
To go to the other side's fairway.
Yeah, because it's it's a dog leg left and a dog leg right. Why they're called dog legs, I don't know. But it's
because they look like dog legs. Like if you look at a dog's leg, how the
you could call it
knees go.
All legs look like that.
No, it looks like a dog leg. It makes sense.
Yeah, no, but they could have picked any other animal.
But what's wrong with dogs? They're man's best friend.
Nothing's wrong with dogs. I'm just saying they could have picked any other animal.
I think it's a fantastic name. Continue.
Could have been a deer leg, right?
No, dogs are better.
But I'm just saying, I don't know why somebody like it's the same thing as like literally it was like 1890 something on a course in Atlantic City during like some PGA event, I think, where a guy said, "Oh, that's a bird of a shot."
Yep.
And now it's called a birdie.
Now it's called a birdie 100 years later.
Yeah, still. It's just like someone at one point in 18 something or another said, "Oh, it looks like a dog's leg." Now it's called dog leg.
Yep.
I'm sure that's what it is, but
that is probably exactly what it is. But I mean, it does make sense.
Sure, but there's like plenty of holes where it's like, should you hit it straight, and then like that's how the hole's designed. Sure, but if I just aim right,
if I just go straight
and play it off the other hole, it's closer.
I'm just gonna go up and over rather than trying to play with the fairway. There's another fairway right there. I see it.
Yeah, there's another one right there. If I just aim at that one.
Nah, nothing wrong with that. But another thing that we used to do, talking about losing balls and stuff, my dad always had in his bag. So you have kind of a golf bag that holds all your clubs. You got all your different clubs. You got your driver. Like my traditional bag would usually have a driver in it. Then it would have a 3 wood, which looks like a driver, just smaller. A 5 wood.
The thing in my bag I can't hit. Got it.
Yep. No, I'm pretty good with a 3 wood. 3 wood I can do. 3 wood I can do well. Honestly, a lot of the times I'll just drive with my 3 wood instead of my driver, because it's easier to hit. And then I had a 5 wood that I would play with, which is again just a little bit smaller. It's still the same shape. It's just a little smaller. Doesn't go quite as far. A little bit more lofted, so the ball goes a little higher when you.
They look like tiny drivers.
Yeah, tiny drivers. And then I had one that was even smaller. This is I think an uncommon club in a bag. I would use something called a fairway 7 wood. It was actually just this club. It was, I think it was a Cobra, but it was a wooden head club, steel shaft, and it's very small wood. Like it's a very small head on the
It's
club.
like a little rescue club almost.
Yeah, it's this little club.
Yeah.
And then it has two like underneath it because it's such a small club. There's two almost like little runners of wood that make it so it picks it up a little higher off the ground. I can hit that club better than any other club in my bag. Like for some reason, that one, I mean, it doesn't go as far. Like if I hit my 3 wood well, it's gonna go much better. But consistently, I can hit that club 170 yards every time I swing it. Like it's every single time. Exactly.
Yeah, I have a little rescue that's like lofted like a 5. It's like it's the same thing but for a 5.
Mm-hmm.
I actually find myself like using that to like putt off the green more than I do actually swinging it in the fairway.
Yeah, you could do that too. But so anyway, so then you have those woods. Now I'm going to skip over hybrids because I kind of stopped playing before hybrids were common.
I don't use them.
You don't use them at all? Yeah,
I
had some in my bag
don't
towards
have
the
one.
end, but not very much. But anyway, so then the other ones are irons. So irons are the ones that you look at that look like the kind of blade on the end of the golf club. The same way, you've got your, I think I have a 3 iron. This is the first one that I have. 4 iron, 5 iron, 6 iron, and a 7 iron.
I mean, you should have like 4 through pitching wedge.
Yeah, I do.
4, 5,
Yeah,
6, 7, 8,
I have a 9 iron too. 7, I don't have an 8, I don't think. Or I do, but I don't use it ever.
Oh.
I think I do. And then I have 8, 9 pitching wedge. And then I have an extra lofted. I have a sand wedge and then a super.
Lob wedge.
What the hell is it called? The lob wedge, yeah.
Yep.
So that's my club construction of what I bring, and a putter, of course.
Yep. I need to get. My problem is I need to get a gap wedge. So I have a 56 and a 58 that I hit consistently, but my problem is if I'm like 110 yards out, I do not have a club for that. Like
so
I'm either
I would probably usually, again, I'm like looking at like thinking back to when I played, I would probably be 110. I'd be pitching wedge, I think.
Yeah, I hit my pitching wedge like a good, I mean, for the purposes of getting it close to the hole, I hit my pitching wedge a good bit further than 110. Like it's like 130, 125, okay. 130, like with a full pitch. So like they call it a gap wedge. I just need to go get one. Like I know what it is. Right, I want one. Yeah. I just need to go get one.
Yeah, I was like my loft wedge, my lob wedge, not loft wedge. It's called the Pirate. Yeah, it just has a little pirate flag on it.
Dude, I love hitting flop shots with my lob wedge.
Yeah, shoop.
Yeah. So a flop shot is when you like flatten the club out, like you open it up, like you turn the club so that it has more loft, and you like change how you stand to square it up, and you're trying to basically like slide under the ball, and like send it like straight up in the air. So I used to practice lob shots in my backyard. I had like probably 40, 50 foot tall pine trees in my backyard. So I lived next to my grandparents. So I would put like a bucket as like an aiming zone on the other side, and I would just put just a couple dozen balls on the ground, and I would just try and just full swing up and over. The number of times I have bladed one just like through like just never getting them back.
I'm sure you're never getting them back. And how many windows have you taken out?
No, I never aimed. I always made sure that I was aimed somewhere that wasn't like at a house, but I am very sure that the neighbors like 4 houses over were very confused as to why there were golf balls in their backyard.
Where did this come from?
So we've talked a lot about our golf and golf in general, but I'd like to, before we continue on, I'd like to talk a little bit about professional golf and golfers, because I love watching professional golf.
You know,
I'm one of the few, but I love
that. I grew up with, again, my dad loves golf. He watched golf all the time, and I grew up just kind of bitching and moaning about it being on the TV. Because as a kid, it's extremely boring. Like, nothing really happens. You just kind of watch people walk around. I grew to appreciate it a little bit more when I was in my playing years. But now it's still like, if it's on, I can sit down and watch it, and it's kind of fun. But like, I never seek out to watch it.
I feel like this starts to lean into the we're getting old now. So like
Hmm.
I guess I'm just like older at soul than you are because I fucking love watching golf.
Maybe in this particular aspect.
In this particular, I'm just like we're getting older and our
Mhm.
bodies, we can throw our backs out playing golf, but like
Okay.
I have always loved watching golf. Like
Hmm.
I try to watch all the majors. Like I put it on like while I'm working, like on the Thursday, Friday that they're playing. Love it. Do you have any favorite golfers? Like do you watch it enough to like have some favorites?
I did back in the day. Jeez, I'm gonna date again how long ago I actually watched golf.
Stuart Appleby. No, but I mean,
Huh?
but never mind.
What'd you say?
I said Stuart Appleby.
That's the right timeline.
No,
I
no,
was gonna
you're
say
right. That's like
Freddie Couples.
Freddie
Couples was one of my favorites.
Freddie.
Freddie Boom Boom Couples. Yep. I
Oh,
used to love
what's
him.
Freddie Couples? Oh, what's Davis Love the third?
Davis Love the Third. Yep. Phil Mickelson. Those were the people I was watching.
Young man VJ Singh new
VJ
on
Singh,
the
yes,
scene.
he was new on the scene back then.
Because you're naming
Like I said,
golfers that were popular like 30
the
years ago.
2009, 2008. Yeah, that's back when I was in high school and I used to play and I used to watch a little bit.
Fair.
But yeah, I watched them, and again the heyday of Tiger Woods. That was his dominant streak. He was starting to come down a little bit at that point, but he was still up there.
I was wrong. He won his last major in 2019.
He was still dominant, but like other people were starting to win too. Like he
So
wasn't
starting
alone.
to also
He wasn't
win.
alone. I mean,
His-
97 to like what?
Was
Like
it-
97 to like 2005.
No,
He
it
was like the only one that was winning.
was it 99 to I forget when that like insane streak was, but like so like Scotty Scheffler is like a big name in golf right now. He won 7. He won 7 this year. Won the FedEx Cup. Like that actually just wrapped up. Like the FedEx Cup stuff, which is one of the reasons why I definitely wanted to talk about golf is like this like their main season. Now there's like I think there's like a FedEx Cup fall, but whatever.
There's like the President's Cup coming up, I think.
Yeah, like the main FedEx Cup, which is basically it's really similar to like NASCAR racing, where it's like you get points for like finishes and wins and stuff, and like you end up winning. He won. I wouldn't go as far to say that he totally ran away with it, but he pretty much ran away with it. But people are talking about how Scheffler is like having like a Tiger Woods-esque season. The number of years that Scotty Scheffler would have to put this type of performance together back to back
Continuously.
like it's just people just forget how good Tiger Woods was at golf.
It was like a decade in a row that
How
he
many-
was unbeatable.
How many wins do you think? I literally I do not have this looked up. I have absolutely no idea. How many tournament wins? Not major wins, because I know how many major wins.
Yeah,
How many
major wins.
tournament wins?
I'm gonna be honest. I can't even ballpark this because I don't know how many they would have. It would be. I think it's got to be in the hundreds.
I don't know. Ooh, fuck, that might
No,
be,
maybe not.
That might be
100. I, mean,
high.
honestly, I think it might be in like 100.
I wanted to try to bet a point on this.
Yeah, no, I can't. I can't even. I don't have enough information to even make an educated guess out of it.
Before I look it up.
What do you think? Before you look it up, I'm gonna say 112.
It has to be more than that. 219.
That's probably closer.
How many
I felt like I was going
tournaments
too
does-
high. I was originally gonna be in the 400s, but I'm like, that's way
Well,
too high.
when he was young, he played so many.
He did. He played everything that he could. He qualified for like. Doesn't he have a record for like how many events
we
he
are
qualified
both
for in a row?
so we are both so off.
What is it? 63,
82.
82. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I thought I was too high. I thought I was too high.
juicing him up so aggressively.
But either way, it's still a stupid number.
No, so 90. He joined the PGA in 96. No, he has 110 professional wins.
His 110, really?
Yeah, 110.
That was my guess.
Yeah,
I
110
said
professional wins.
112. I was
Yeah.
within 2.
Yeah,
Damn it, I should have bet a
80,
fucking point.
82 PGA, 41 European, 3 Japanese, 2 Asian,
Yep.
3 PGA Australian, 17 other. I'm assuming.
Other.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he has the 15 major wins are what I knew about, and it's what was the year that he won all 4, but he didn't do it consecutively.
I think it was like 2002.
It was
2003.
he won the 2019 Masters and then the 2020 PGA US Open and Open Championship. So he got them all, but not technically in the same year.
Oh, because it was 2019 and 2020.
So he did 1999. So I'm sorry.
Is it the first time?
1999.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. His first PGA Championship. Actually, his first championship.
First was in 97.
97, the Masters. So he had the 2019 Masters. That was his last Masters win.
Mm-hmm.
And then he won the 2000 PGA, the 2000 US Open, and then the 2000 Open Championship, which I think may have actually been at St. Andrews. It was the old course at St. Andrews.
Yep.
I thought that was true.
Like
I thought that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Early 2000. That was, like I said, I think from like 97 to like 2005, he just won everything.
Yeah.
Everything he touched.
Fucking everything.
Yeah.
Most of his wins were in that range.
Yeah. It was just continuously. It was like crazy to watch because he also was like kind of one of the people that put golf on the map as like a major sport to watch. He was like one of the first really big name peoples that was like a household name in the world of golf. Like, I mean, name someone else that everybody knows the name of that has no idea anything about golf, other than Jack Nicklaus.
Arnold Palmer.
That's because he makes iced tea.
He mixed iced tea and lemonade, and is also one of the best golfers of all time.
I know, but I bet you a lot more people know him for the mixing lemonade and iced tea than for golf.
But I bet you a lot of people know that he's a golfer. Tiger, I consider Tiger
I think I just
consider him the last.
Put him on the mainstream.
John Daly.
John Daly
Everyone
was
knows
after
John
Tiger,
Daly.
but he was after Tiger.
About the same time.
He was a little after.
John Daly's older than Tiger.
Yeah, well, John Daly started playing later. Tiger started playing when he was young.
No, John Daly also started playing when he was young. John Daly had a lot.
Do you want to bet a point on this one?
100%.
I will bet a point on this one.
Hold on. What's the actual bet? John Daly was a member of the PGA before Tiger Woods?
John Daly, I'm trying to think of the way to put it because I'm trying to think like was in, I don't know how, I'm trying to figure out how to quantify relevant to golf. Like that's really hard to quantify. Like
first win,
top 10
first
finishes or something, top
win?
5 finishes or something like that.
No, but
first tournament. We could do first tournament.
No, but I'm not.
Yeah, we could do first tournament win.
Hold on. I am not gonna sit here and say that John Daly is more relevant to golf than Tiger Woods.
No. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying when he became relevant to golf, because John Daly came on the scene after Tiger Woods. People knew who John Daly was after Tiger Woods had already been well involved.
False.
That's what I'm saying. I think
the point?
I think
So
you're right. I think the first major win.
Are we talking? Okay, all right. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do first major win.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, does John Daly even have a major?
That's why I'm saying it's very, very hard to quantify this right now.
No, I'm gonna say first tournament win.
First tournament win?
Not first major win, because I literally off the top of my head, I do not know if John Daly has a major.
I don't know if he does.
I'd like to think John Daly in his prime has a major.
I was always a fan of John Daly, but even John Daly in his prime was just like hammered every time he was on the course with a cigar in his hand and friggin' really tight, bright pants.
John Daly is my hero.
You search John Daly, we already know Tigers was 1997.
No, that was the first major win. Look at first tournament win.
Okay. I'll look at Tigers, you look at John Daly. Okay, got it. Again, this might be difficult because I don't know how many times John Daly won.
John Daly was the 1991 PGA champion.
Really?
Yeah, John Daly's been around for so much longer.
Really?
No, you were so wrong. John Daly was winning majors before Tiger Woods could shit in diapers. Does John Daly have a Masters? Or does he just have 2 PGAs?
I think the thing that I just looked at, he had a Masters. No, it might have been a PGA.
I actually don't know.
And though,
we're
getting into this. Let's
tied for third.
Let's go back again and clarify what we're talking about by the Masters versus just the PGA.
Well, PGA Championship is a major. Let's not gloss over this. What is the current score? Because that is a point for Anthony.
Fuck, it is the point for Anthony. I think it's 3-2 now.
It's 3-2. Might be 3-1,
or is it? It might be 3-1 actually.
Might
I think
be 3-1.
Right. I'm not doing good. I shouldn't have given up that first point for the demonstration of what a point is.
Nah, we can go back and
fucking myself.
We can go back and check the tape, but I think it's 3-1.
I think you're right. It is 3-1, I think.
Anyway, back to golf. Major tournaments are like big hubbubaloos
You want to try
of
that word again?
hubbubaloos.
I thought it was hullabaloo.
Hubbubaloos?
Hullabaloo.
Hullabaloos.
Big deals. They're big
No,
deals.
hubbubaloos. Oh, I'm doing too many B's, aren't I?
Now you definitely are. I'm still pretty sure it's hullabaloo.
Hubba bubble
But
gum.
it's definitely not hubbububble max.
Hubba bubble bubble gum. They're very hubba bubble bubble gums. Hullabaloos
There we go. We got there. We got it.
in the golf world. So there's the Masters, which is always played at Augusta, which is a country club in Georgia. A tradition unlike any other.
In case you were wondering.
That's their slogan. Like, you get a green jacket for winning. The caddies all have to wear white jumpsuits. It's like a whole very aristocratic thing. You have the PGA Championship, which moves around to a PGA course. Then you have the British Open, also known as the Open Championship. A lot of times, not a lot of times, but that, like the PGA Championship, it moves around the U.S.
Isn't it played at Scotland regularly?
It's honestly all over England. A lot of times, not a lot of times Scotland, but like a good number to Scotland. St. Andrews has played host to it many a time. The 2000 Open Championship that Tiger won, that was at St. Andrews. It moves all over the place. There's like it's like the Royal something, and I can't think of the name. They have, I mean, it's a different style of golf. Like links golf courses are just quite simply different.
Honestly, I played a decent amount when I was growing up, and links golf courses were like my favorite type. I just thought it was a lot of fun. There's different type. The links ones are traditionally like where golf kind of began in the Highlands of Scotland, where it's very open. The fairways are very nice, but the roughs are very, very rough. And
It's
if
like
you get
literally
off
fucking
of the rough,
fescue. It's like
if you
it's
get
just fescue.
into the deep rough, it's just good luck. You're not going to find your ball.
Hay. It's it's hay. It's
Yeah,
literally
and
hay.
There's a lot of elevation change. It's very like rolling hill kind of a feeling. A lot of the greens are usually above you in elevation rather than below you. It's like it's
or you go, or they're the same elevation, and then you go down, and then you
down,
go back
and then you
up.
come back up. Yep.
Yeah, and then the other big thing with they call them potbelly bunkers, are like a big hallmark of links courses.
Would
Is
you
like
care
they're
to
just
define a bunker?
a bunker is just like sand on the golf course.
Sand, also called a sand trap. It's just this big hole in the ground that they dig and fill it with sand just to make your life hell.
Yep, and they usually put them in the typical distances that people hit the ball because they're assholes.
And usually right next to the hole.
So link style course, like you have in Scotland, that's usually the Open Championship, and then you have Masters, PGA Championship, which moves around into a PGA course, Open Championship somewhere over in England, United Kingdom,
U.S. Open,
and then the U.S. Open, which also moves around, which is the U.S. Open is it's a major, but it's a non-PGA event, which is why like all the live golf guys, they can still play the PGA, or they can't play the PGA, but they can still play the U.S. Open.
Is the live golf the people that got in trouble for that, or they?
No, they're the ones that like took all the money and play in that Saudi Arabia tour.
Yeah. That the PGA said that you can't play in that, and then they went and played in it anyway because they got paid out the wazoo for it.
Yeah, but they're also now they're merging.
Are they merging now?
Yeah, all those guys.
The PGA can't say no to Saudi Arabian money. Come on.
They offered Tiger Woods $800 million to join Live Golf.
Really?
He turned it down.
You know, at some point,
$800 million.
I completely, it's crazy to me, but I do think that at some point
that would have paid for the divorce.
It's just and all the child support. But anyway,
just chase him with
at some point it's just a lot of money. At some point it's just like you're never gonna spend that. It's you're past generational wealth at that point. $800 million. That's ridiculous.
Greg, can I ask you a question related to Tiger Woods and related to Tiger and $800 million?
Mm-hmm.
And you're a fan of Bill Burr, the comedian, yeah?
Yeah, love Bill Burr.
Did you stop using Gillette razors when you found out that Tiger Woods cheated on his wife?
I don't know what you're talking about, razors. I haven't used a razor in years.
That's fair. It's Bill Burr has like that famous stand up. He's like, look, I get it, but like I can read lips. I never liked Tiger Woods because he was a good person.
That's not really what he's known for.
No.
But,
No.
Yeah,
He was historically like pretty angry on the golf course.
So he was kind of angry, but he was also
He's competitive.
I think the thing that got me a little bit about it is because I think a lot of people saw him as a role model for like
that's
a
their
lot
fault.
of people.
That's their fault.
Well, I know what you mean, but I also think that he didn't really.
What are you
I'm
talking
trying to think
about?
of how to say it. I'm trying to think. He didn't really stray hard from the straight and narrow until it came out that he had strayed very hard from the straight and narrow.
What are you talking about?
When else did he ever get in trouble?
Sir,
When did he get in trouble?
sir, if you like math, right? You're a math guy. You like the numbers.
I do enjoy the numbers.
Yeah, you enjoy the numbers. If you have buses full of Scandinavian women trying to jump your bones the second you walk off the golf course, and you only sleep with 14 of them, you break that down. He cheated 0% of the time he could have.
It's a very small fraction of a percent. Oh,
He had thousands of opportunities for infidelity, and there were only a handful.
There's only a handful.
Yeah,
that's not how that game works.
That's a divide by zero error.
No.
He gets one concubine per birdie per round.
Per birdie per round. Oh fuck!
It's way under that.
No. Well,
I just again going back to the Bill Burr one though, like his wife did get like no prenup, like his wife got half of that, and she's never made a birdie in her life.
Yeah, but
I'm not supporting infidelity. I'm just saying that he should have taken the $800 million from Liv. He's also golfed way worse.
Amount of money. He's like, he doesn't even have to do well at golfing for 800 million. Like, there was no like strings attached to that.
No, it's just like, come join our tour.
They just wanted the star power name.
Yeah. I'd go watch. First of all, Live Golf, 3 rounds instead of 4. They get to wear shorts. Like it to me, it just like it's more sensical golf.
In Saudi Arabia, they have to wear shorts, so they will all die.
I got nothing. I have nothing against something competing with the PGA for views, because
I'm just more not a fan of Saudi Arabia. I think that's more the thing that I have a problem with in the whole game, but that has nothing to do with the sport. So have the championships. They're kind of the most prestigious,
Those are the big ones.
We have talked a decent bit about golf, and I think we're coming around to where it's time to wrap up, sir. Something else you wanted to touch on before we clean up?
Just real quick, and I lost it. No, I have no idea. I don't remember.
I have one other thing that I do want to ask you before we do sign off on the golf game, before we
I'd like
go
to
into our final notes on the drinks.
I'd like to know who your favorite current golfer is.
Dude, I don't know any current golfers. I want to know your best memory of you playing golf.
Oh,
that's what I want to know. And for everyone that's listening right now, this is completely unrehearsed. I didn't tell him I was going to ask him this question, so we're going to see what you come up with off the cuff. Honestly, I don't have an answer yet, so I have to think about it myself.
I have 2. One is quite some time ago, and one is fairly recent.
Okay.
But it's like the same feeling. And it's a lot of what we were talking about, of how golf is just a fucking drug.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give both, because they're equal but different. Best memories. Okay, so the first one is, I want to say it was either like 8th grade, freshman year, somewhere in there, where I was like really just like starting to get okay at golf. It was me and my dad playing with one of my really good friends and his dad at like my home course, like the one closest to my house where I grew up. Shout out Fort Cherry. Still a good golf course. And I was like, I don't know, maybe like 20 yards off the green on a
Mhm.
par three, and just chipped in, like just this most pure chip, and it just hit and rolled down the hill, just went in the
Mhm.
cup, just like that perfect. You'd replay it 100. I can replay it in my mind. All those has to be 15, 16, 20 years ago. Not
Mhm.
20, but like 15, 16 years ago, easy. I
Yeah.
had to have been 14.
But just that
Just
feeling.
oh my god, it's incredible, and like the praise that you get, it was such a
That's
pure
it.
shot.
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Such a pure
That
shot.
feeling.
No, you can live on that for forever.
Mhm.
And then the next the other one of my favorite memories, playing in, we had talked about scrambles, playing in a scramble. It was a par four. It was me, one of my really good friends, actually, two of my really good friends, and then one guy that just like subbed in. Like
Okay.
my
It is some
my
rando.
buddy my buddy like told me that he golfs, and I needed a fourth guy
Yeah.
because we needed to put a foursome together because it was my
Mhm.
friend that was doing the scramble. So
Was this in college?
no, this was like last year.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
This is literally like 18 months ago. This is like
Okay.
last golf season. And so it's like third or fourth hole in. We're all actually playing pretty well. We knock
Mhm.
one on. It's just like this big sweeping putt. Probably like
Mhm.
30 something feet. This big sweeping, like undulating green, like right to
Mhm.
left.
Yeah.
And I just, like, my already sort of drunk cocky assholeness is, I'm just like, I just like, because I'm the one that hit it there. I'm like, don't
Yeah.
worry, guys. You guys can just put your putters away. And I just like walk up. I just like walk up, put the marker down, line the ball up, just straight in the hole,
Right in.
right in the hole.
Nice.
And they're all just like, yeah, I guess we didn't fucking need these. Because puts their,
And we're done.
it's just like it's just like the call. It's like that calling your shot moment. I
Mm-hmm.
was just like, you guys don't, like, you guys just might as well put your putters away
Yep.
and just
And
straight in the hole.
that's just the best
I
feel.
just
Like, so that is something that, like I said, I played until I was like kind of younger adult, where I was kind of like you were saying in your beginning times, like where you're just starting to get like you get a feel for the game. You're actually getting to where you're comfortable with it. You're kind of, you know how to hit the ball. You can keep up with it. Again, I never played as well as my dad, but I always tried. Uh, but
it's hard.
I was always good at putting. Putting was always, I was good at reading the lie, seeing how the ball's gonna go. I had the right like feel for it to know. I used the same putter for years. It's a very old brass putter. It's not, and has no new technology in it. It's just a hollow brass putter that I've used since forever, and I just know how it hits.
I, that's funny. That's funny because I also have a super old putter that
Do you?
I got for
Yeah.
free as a tip for staining a woman's deck. It's like a 1980s Scotty Cameron.
I honestly I don't even know what mine is. It's just this hollow putter that I think we used to go to a place called Play It Again Sports. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It was a used sporting goods equipment store.
Yes. Why have I heard of this?
I think they were. I think it was a chain. I think it was like throughout the nation. But we used to go
Okay.
to there, and we used to go there, and I would get golf clubs. It's also where I got the pirate, uh, and then we would get golf balls there because you could just get like a whole bucket of balls, and it was like pick them out of the bucket, and however many you can use to fill up a box, it costs this amount. So we go through and pick out the best ones that are like super
God,
expensive
I
if you
miss
actually bought
those.
them, and just fill up a whole bucket. And that
I
was like
used to love
balls.
doing those.
Yeah, we used to do those all the
I
time.
buy
But
I buy all mine off lostgolfballs.com now.
oh, so we did that. Well, that was something going back to. I don't think I got to. I went into what I have in my bag. My dad used to keep a thing in his bag that was just a golf ball retriever, and we used to go to the water hazards and just pick golf balls up out of the lake. um, but yeah, I think my best memory. I don't have like a specific hole or something that I have, but it was just this one vacation my dad and I went on that was just like we just went down and we just played golf for a week straight. We just had like tea times at all the different places, and I'm trying to remember. It was either in Virginia or Myrtle Beach. I always think it was in Myrtle Beach, but I'm looking, and remember I mentioned the Royal New Kent a minute ago. I remember playing at Royal New Kent, and that's in Virginia.
Yeah, that's Virginia.
So I think it might have been in Virginia that we had gone to, but we just spent the whole week playing, and it was like the first time that I've ever played that many times in a row, and it's like you get a feel for it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like the more that you're playing, you get into practice more with it, and you're just like, all right, I can do this. And then it's also like the memories that you get to spend with your family and stuff like that. And I think that's something that's cool with golf is it's like, it is a time that you still get to chat when you're playing. You still get to hang out and you still get to be together, and it's not just about the game, but it can also be about the game. So it's like a low pressure situation that I think gives rise to good conversation. And like I said, I think it's lasting memories.
I love that. And it's true. Yeah. That's exactly what, like, golf, that is what golf is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. It's a game, but it's about making memories. Like there's a reason that golf is not a solo sport. I mean, you can play by yourself, but that's not. Golf is supposed to be a shared game.
It's an experience
and a competition with the people that you're with.
Mm-hmm.
That is what it is supposed to be. Honestly, this is a great segue to wrap us up. Like whiskey, like
I agree.
You can absolutely drink alone, but you're weird if you do that too much. If you golf by yourself too much, you're weird, and if you drink odd. And if you drink whiskey too much by yourself, that's
like you said you were gonna go out solo, and I was like, interesting.
Well, the problem
is the starters will put you in a group usually.
Well, I love playing with random people.
But yeah, bringing it back to whiskey. What are your thoughts, sir?
This is one of the better sherry finishes. This was
very good.
This was a good recommendation. It's a very good, very approachable Scotch.
Do you remember the price tag on this one? I can't remember.
50, 40.
Yeah, I don't think it was that much. It was like I think it was low 50s. 50. It might have been like 54. Somewhere in that.
Yeah, that sounds right. It's mid-range. Like weird. Like I say mid-range, but like mid-range for a single malt 12-year.
Probably low end for single malt Scotch. Like
for a 12-year single malt, it's low end. It's very, very good.
This is what you call bang for your buck, I think.
Yeah, well, and that's what the guy said. It's the same as the other one that I had, the Grangestone, similar sherry finish. This is better than that.
Yeah, this is better than that.
This is better than that other like quote bang for your buck sherry cask finish. This is better.
Yeah,
bar none. This is better.
So where are you rating it?
That's rough. What did I give? I know that it's all on its own individual scale, but
I mean, kind of.
No,
we're not ranking against things, but we're using the same scale for everything.
Yeah, 10.
It's a 10?
No, 1 out of 10. I'm saying we're using a 1.
Yeah.
7.8.
Really?
Is that lower than you thought I was going to put it?
Yes. It's lower than I'm going to put it.
That's totally fair. My problem is I'm comparing it to other sherry matured and sherry finished scotches, and while it has an approachability that I really do love, the back end has just a little bit of lacking complexity that I wish it had.
I can see that. Yeah,
I wish if there was just slightly more character, it'd be an 8 plus. I want to give it an 8, but I'm bringing it down just a little. 7.9. I'm adjusting. 7.9. It's almost an 8.
I think it's interesting because, as we've said many a time on this channel, like I generally like very strong flavors and a lot of like character, a lot of woody oakiness to the finish. This one, it has a lot of character, I think. I just think it's not that kind of character. It's not the like heavy dark character. I think it has just a brighter, lighter character, but it still has a lot of character in my opinion. It's just, I'm just always going to compare stuff to beer because that's just my wheelhouse.
That's your lens.
I'm going to say this is like a hazy IPA as opposed to the ones that we usually talk about that are more like your Doppelbocks.
Yeah.
Your like your stouts, your like heavier things. Whereas this is like, I think a hazy IPA, a New England IPA, something that's like brighter, fresher, but still has a lot of flavor to it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what this is. Yep. So saying that I'm gonna put this at like an 8.2. I think I'm really enjoying it. Like, I just think it's very nice to drink. It's nice to sip upon. It's easy to drink, but it's not like, I feel like I'm always gonna go back to like Toki, where it's like it tastes good, but it's very one note. This has lots of notes.
Yeah, but we also fucking hated Toki once we had the Takatsuru.
It's really funny because we say that, but if I go get
No,
a
I
bottle
no,
of
I
Toki
no,
right now,
I
I'm gonna love it. It's
no,
fine.
I know, but I tasted them.
It's
I
delicious still.
tasted them back to back, and I was like, "What the what?"
Yeah, you shouldn't taste them back to back. That's not what you're supposed
No,
to do.
and that's not fair. No, okay, 8.2.
I get Takatsura, what, like an 8.5 or or 9.2?
I may have even put it at a 9.
I think I put it at a 9 something too.
Well, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go back through our episodes. We're gonna
Make a list. On that note,
buddy, one more cheers.
been a pleasure as always.
Been a pleasure.
Cheers. Goodbye. I'm a little drunk.